What's up, you guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and man, what the hell is going on with this game? I swear to God, like, what's going on, like, on YouTube? What's going on with, all this bullshit? Yu-Gi-Oh's dying, rip Yu-Gi-Oh! My God, DN's gone, YGO Pro, all this crap. Like, man, I don't get it anymore because, I've been seeing this. I'm sure y'all have been seeing this, for the last, I don't know if it's been like a couple weeks or whatever. Everyone just saying, this game is dying, oh my God, it's the end, rip Yu-Gi-Oh, sell all your shit, blah, 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 blah. Man, like the title says, Yu-Gi-Oh dying? Nah, bro, chill. Because no, the game is not dying. The game is not dying at all. I've watched a lot of the videos. I haven't been able to get through a lot of them, just listening to some of the just really ridiculous things that are said. But you need to take it from people, who have actually been to the events, who have actually traveled, who have actually gone to locals, who have actually done all the stuff that you're supposed to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, besides just playing online. That's a whole nother dimension. I know, I'm saying, a whole nother dimension, like the movie pack. But here's the thing, you guys. The game is not dying. Like, if we have to use statistics, and honestly, I hate using statistics because I just want to talk about, like, what's really real besides, just the numbers. Like, Nationals was very successful. The event was huge. The event was amazing. I mean, come on, the event was amazing. Over 2,000 people came out to play. There was probably 2,500 people in the room. 2,300 played in the, the main event. It could have been, the numbers could have been even higher because playing in the side events, I saw a lot of people. I saw way more, actually, I think, than 100, maybe 200 people. The room could have been filled completely. Like, I don't even know, like, what the exact number of attendees was outside of the players that were actually playing. But I mean, that right there should tell you, man, people came out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I came from the West Coast to the East Coast to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it's just like, think about that. There were people that came from Canada. There were people that came way further than I did to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, it's just like, the game's not dying when there's that much dedication. Not at all. The game's not dying as long as, people keep playing. Think about it. Every regionals that people play in, everyone that's making videos, they play in regionals, they know what we're talking about. Why do you go and play if you think the game is dying? Why do you go and, you spend a good 15, 16 hour day, depending on what time you get there, till it's all over. If you play out all the rounds, if you do videos, etc. It's like, is the game dying? No, the game's not dying. You're there playing it because you want to play it. Like, I believe that the game will not die until every single player says, I'm done with this game. I can't play it no more. And it's not that because there's no online simulator, there's no way. It's just like, I have no interest in the game anymore. Now you can flip that. You could say, well, Konami could just put the kibosh and just end all events. If they do that, then yeah, that's on them. That's on them if they want to do it. So, I mean, their little headquarters over there in El Segundo. So, I mean, it's like, it's like I can just pop in there real quick and be like, yo, the game dying? Nah? Okay. I can literally poke my head out the car. Like, the game is dying? Nope. Okay, see you tomorrow. Literally, like, that's the thing that just, it hurts me to see this because I feel it's really affecting a lot of the player base. And first off, I'm going to fully, sympathize with everybody that played online. Personally, I was not a fan of DN and all that, but I can totally see where it was a fantastic tool. Do I agree with them taking it down? Absolutely not. Do I think that there should be a way to test online? Absolutely, because not everybody can actually play in real life. But for those who actually do both, you kind of just switch things up. Like, I feel the game is going to grow more because people are going to be kind of forced to go back to locals. And maybe in a way that's what's supposed to happen because, let's face it, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you kind of buy the cards to play in real life. I mean, I've never bought the cards to just kind of look at them and be like, yeah, this one's shiny, this one's cool, and, close my binder and call it a day. I never did that. I always, was like, all right, well, what am I building? What am I playing? And, ever since, finding locals down here and, going to core TCG, it's like there's always people playing there. They're playing other games, they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's always Yu-Gi-Oh! Going on. Like, perfect example. In Los Angeles, California, you're going to tell me that in Southern California, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying? Hell no. Like, people out here play this game like they're soldiers. Like, this shit is insane. Like, I have so much, like, utmost respect for the players out here because, they really do live and die and breathe Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's just, it's an amazing feeling to see so much dedication by so many players. And that's just one part of, of California. You have NorCal, you have all the other areas, and that's just one state. Like, think about that. That's one state. And I mean, they go hard down here. Like, it's insane. Like, my boy Amasu's going to Worlds. I mean, come on. Like, you know, you really need to see that, you know, the game isn't dying at all. The game will not die unless you let it die. And that's what I hope you guys take away from this little kind of Slim, you're kind of crazy kind of rant, but take it from me, you guys. In 2012 through almost all of 2013, I went to pretty much every event under the sun. I've seen, you know, everything from, you know, from regionals to YCSs to nationals to Worlds itself. I've seen all the events, you know, play out over the last couple of years. And, you know, even though I haven't been to as many, like I went to nationals this year, I went to a couple regionals, I still have that vibe. I still feel that vibe. I feel that community is, you know, there to play the game. Like, you know, you can just strike up conversations with people out of nowhere. You know why? Because you have a common interest. Like, it seems to grow. Our LA regional was 780 people. The regionals in San Jose are not as much, but they're probably going to grow. Now that you're not going to have the ability to just test online, if you really want to test a deck, you're going to have to get in your car, you know, do whatever you got to do to get to a locals, go to a friend's house. You're going to have to play in real life. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I think that's actually good. Ever since I started playing a lot more, I've come to really respect it and really enjoy it, because let's face it, that's what the game's about. Like, you're supposed to go out and play against, you know, against your friends, against, you know, people, rivals and stuff at locals or regionals or YCSs, if you're able to go to nationals, if you qualify. To, I mean, my God sakes, if you're going to Worlds, I mean, well, you know, you know what I mean? Like, congratulations. Like, it's just, it's sad to me to think that most people think this game is dying and thinking that there's so many things they need to do to fix the game. It's like, yeah, there is. Let's face it. They're a company. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can give all the opinions you want. They're still going to do things the way they want to do them. And I've accepted that. I've accepted the fact that we can do everything we want as players, and maybe it'll get through. Maybe it won't. But are they listening? I think they are. You know, I think it's very hard to, you know, ignore everything that's been said. And for, you know, for the real, like, dedication, you know, even though there's been a lot of BS drama through all of this, you know, for the fact that, you know, I guess you're trying to get a point across outside of, you know, a lot of views and a lot of just drama, it's like, at least there is dedication, and at least there is, like, kind of like a motivation to, you know, keep the game alive. But I personally don't feel the game is dying. I don't feel the game's dying at all. I feel like, you know, Blue Eyes has just become a deck. I mean, you could not sit here and tell me that if you started back in 2002 like I did, and you watched the TV show, or you picked up the Kaiba starter deck, that you didn't think Blue Eyes White Dragon was the greatest card in the world, and now it's an actual deck. I mean, yeah, it took 14 years, but I mean, it's now a deck. And if you've been around for that long, and you're still dedicated to the game, and you still want to play, you know, you can actually play Blue Eyes White Dragon. I mean, that right there is just insane. And, like, anyone that's been around in the game for that long will definitely understand that 14 years to play one of the most, I would say probably the most iconical card in Yu-Gi-Oh! There really isn't a card that, when you think Yu-Gi-Oh!, you think Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm sorry, like, when I think Yu-Gi-Oh!, that was the first, you know, product I ever got in my entire life, was the starter deck Kaiba. And the card on top was the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I thought to myself, my God, this is the coolest thing ever. And from then on, I picked up the game, and, you know, I didn't look back. And that's what I hope, you know, can happen for a lot of players that are coming in. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is there's a lot of players that have decided to call it quits. They've said, you know what, there's no DN, there's no YGO Pro, I don't have cards in real life, I can't play the game right now. That sucks. That's why there needs to be, I fully agree, there needs to be a way for people to play online. Definitely. But should it be the 100% sole replacement? Absolutely not. If you actually have cards, and you actually can get to locals, and you actually can, you know, do stuff like that, I think that's good. You can always borrow cards too. I mean, look at all the deck profiles over the last couple of years. How many people have said, oh, you know, shout out to so-and-so, they let me borrow this. Shout out to so-and-so, they sponsored me and do all this. If you can find people that'll lend you cards, you can still play Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, Joe Bogley, perfect example. In many of his deck profiles, I don't own any cards. How many regionals is he top? Like 6, 8? I've lost track. Like how many events he's top back to back to back to back to back, and he's been borrowing cards. That's another thing. You can borrow cards. You can, you know, you can find deals. There's always deals on cards. Like, it just depends on what you want to play. If you don't want to play the most competitive deck, well, damn it, don't do it. If you want to play a fun deck but still play the game, then do it. Like, everyone will say Blue Eyes will probably be the best deck. Hit or miss, we don't know. We don't know the list yet. But is the game dying? No. People are still playing. People still have that desire to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that a lot of people have lost that, like, focus that, you know, we're trying to play like our actual game. We're not trying to, you know, we're not about this drama. Okay, the online simulators are down. Will they come back? Possibly. I feel there's going to be something. Like, that could just be me. But I feel like saying that, you know, the game is going to die completely, no, it's not. It's definitely not, because I don't think the community will let it die. Now, we got a lot of issues in the community. A lot of times they don't even have anything to do with the game. They have to do with personal shit, and that just, you know, comes out, you know, kind of in the midst of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, that's a shame, but, you know, to each his own, so be it. But our game is not gonna die if we don't let it die. If we give in and just say, you know what, yeah, we don't have D anymore, we don't have YGO Pro anymore, you know, we can't play, like, that sucks. That takes away from the point of what Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to be. Yu-Gi-Oh, trading card game. You're supposed to be out with friends. You're supposed to be trading cards. You're supposed to be playing. You know, that's what the game is. That's all. You know, that's what they wanted to accomplish. And I felt for the longest time they have accomplished that. And I feel that they can still accomplish that. But people need to really just get it in their heads that, you know, you might just have to go and play at locals. You might have to go and play at a friend's house. You might have to solitaire at your house. I do that too. I do that all the time. Solitairing decks to see all the consistency. There's even like apps on phones. There's Yugi, I think it's Yugipedia. There's YGOLyfe. There's all these things you can do to still, you know, test out your decks. You know, test out cards, test out hand simulations to see how consistent the deck is. There's a lot of ways to still be in the game. If you don't own physical cards, there are still ways. And who knows? Like, there's talk. I can't remember what it was called, dueling book or some shit. I can't remember what it was called, but you'll be able to still be part of the game, and you can always, you know, you can always just try to say, you know what, I haven't been to locals in a long time, let's try it out. I hadn't been to locals in years, you guys, and I literally just stepped in there and said, all right, let's do this. And, you know, I haven't looked back since then. And I just hope that someone that's been in the game 14 years has gone up and down like this as far as the game has gone, you know, has seen every level of competitive play, can actually just like let you guys know that no, I don't feel the game is dying. I feel that there are new archetypes coming out. There's always gonna be bullshit archetypes. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like this format. I personally didn't mind this format, and I'm not gonna look at a format like I can't play it. Not anymore. I'm gonna say, you know what? No matter what it is, I'm still going to play because I choose to play. And that's the thing I want you guys to take away from this. Do you choose to play? No matter what happens, do you choose to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I choose to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and I hope you guys do too. Because, I mean, no matter what we go through, we cannot deny the fact that this game has had a huge impact on our lives. For me, it's been a lot of positivity. I know there's been negativity along the lines for a lot of people, but try to look at the positivity and say that that's going to outweigh the negativity. And no matter what, we're still going to play the game because we're going to evolve. As the game evolves, we're going to evolve as well. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, I got nothing bad to say about anybody that says anything, you know, in these videos. Everyone's got their own opinion, but I just wanted to share my own from a different perspective. I'm not going to sit here and say the same things because, you know, I feel that the game, I've always felt the game has been so much more than just a game. A lot of people don't agree with me on that, and frankly, I don't care. The game has just had such a positive impact on my life, and I know it's impacted a lot of your guys' lives. You cannot sit there and tell me, like, nah, Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh has done a lot. Like, it has made a difference in your life, so don't give it up. Don't just call it quits because you can't play online. There will always be another way, the ways I've mentioned. And I mean, if you just cannot find a way, if you cannot find a way and you are kind of in a sense forced to quit, you might just have to take a break. You might have to take a break until the time comes that you can play again. But I feel that there is always a way to play if you go looking for it. Like, that's exactly it. Kind of like everyone's playing Pokemon Go. I'm gonna go find this Pokemon. Well, if you really want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a way. You just have to go on your own little journey, your own little scavenger hunt, and find a way to play the game on your terms, on your, you know, whatever, your budget, whatever it is. There's always a way. These structured decks come out. They provide you with cards they never used to. There are ways to get back into the game, and even if you don't have the best deck, if you're still playing and you're still having fun, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So all right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Give me your opinions in the comments below. What do you feel? How do you feel about the game? Because I got no issues with the game. I wish, like, you know, obviously I wish the simulators are back on so that players that quit would play again. The events have been great. I got nothing bad to say. I hope that, you know, they just continue to get better and that players will let them get better, because we decide a lot of outcomes in this game, and that's something we need to realize. A lot of times it's not even, you know, like the decks and whatnot. We decide if we're going to make Yu-Gi-Oh successful or not. So I hope together we can do that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.